Okay, so I am super excited to host probably my favorite call that I do, our team does once a month because it is just a fun way, a very no strings attached. You can watch the recording, you can log on to us if you want to, join us monthly for these, but pull up a drink and just have a fun happy hour of learning a little bit more about what we do as coaches because I'll be honest, when I started, I thought this was this big scary thing. I was adamant about never doing anything that put myself out there. And then I realized what coaching really was. And so our hope and goal tonight is just to really give you a glimpse of that, let you hear from our team, show that we're real people who aren't like, super scripted and have a huge background in health and fitness. Frankly, most of us don't, but that's the beauty of it is really this business is about sharing your journey because you just never know who needs to hear it and who you can inspire. So I've got some slides we're going to, that I'm going to share. And I've got a couple girls on my team that are going to talk tonight and we'll be kind of quick. It won't be a super long event, but please know if you have questions, do not hesitate to unmute yourself or put them in the chat. And if you have questions after, then, please feel free to message the person or talk to the person who invited you, and we'll make sure that we, answer those. Or if there's something maybe we should be talking about more on these, we always love any feedback. I love feedback. So to start, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelsey, and I've been coaching for, I guess I just hit my 3-year anniversary. And, for me, coaching was never in the cards. I was someone who was super active my whole life. I was into health and fitness, but after college, I played college soccer, and then I hit the real world. And I really always had this mentality of, I can work out all day, every day. I can work out to get by with my nutrition. But then I started to age. As you can see, I most definitely need a hair color because the grays are coming in strong. But I started to just have that life of like I wasn't moving as much. I was eating whatever. I was in a stressful job, and I really started to struggle not only physically but mentally as well. And so I had kids. I After having my second, I had struggled a lot with postpartum. And when I had my first, it was just, it was an everyday thing. It was, I didn't understand what postpartum was. I didn't understand why I wasn't like the normal, bubbly, like outgoing person. And I knew that when I had my journey, or when I was starting my, wellness journey after my second kid, who's now 3, I wanted to make sure that I was protecting like my mind, my body, and my soul. I'd followed this girl for years, and I'd actually followed various Beachbody coaches for years. And so I was the girl who bought them on Amazon. I was anti-coach material. I was anti-having a coach. I was like your perfect person who did not support any of this because I just thought I knew it enough. And then I realized that I actually needed the accountability. And so fast forward to today, I finally caved and said yes to this girl that had asked me a million times to join her. And, part of it was a pride thing. Part of it was like, I thought I knew enough. But the reality is, sometimes we need that extra support more than ever, more than we realize. And so I was going back to work. I worked a busy corporate job in investment banking, traveled all over. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to commit to my wellness journey. I'm going to beat postpartum depression, and I'm going to like just go all in and like enjoy the accountability, just, kind of suck up my pride and do it. And I was still anti-coach. I was like never going to coach because I didn't want to do network marketing. And, probably some of the things you're thinking now, like, I don't want to put myself out there. I'm never going to invite someone to join me. All those things are like super common. But what happened in that time was I fell in love with the journey. And my coach kept telling me, coaching actually, or being this influencer, is really just sharing your journey. You don't have to do it a certain way. You can do it in a way that looks like you. But what I found, to make like a very long journey short, to this day we're in now, is that I knew I was going to show up for myself every day. Why couldn't I do that and inspire people at the same time? And so this whole coaching thing really just evolved into, if I'm going to share, I might as well share with purpose, share in a way to help people. And especially when you look at 2020, I mean, I think people need this light more than ever. And so, fast forward to today, I was able to leave my corporate job last year, come home to two kitties that I'm like very grateful, but it's very hard. But this job has given me the consistent income, the consistent routines to still contribute, to still not change our lifestyle. And it really came from coming from a place of knowing that I needed the support and I was willing to do whatever it took to get that support. And once I realized that I was basically doing everything a coach was doing, I was like, you know what? I'll do it. And so what I think, what I want to kind of get to is that, and you'll hear from some other girls on our team tonight, is that this coaching, big, scary coaching thing isn't something that you have to be qualified for. We'll dive into this, or have to look a certain way, or have to have a certain background. But it comes from just this very authentic and genuine place of wanting to be on a journey and helping others around you find that too. Because I know, and I can say with 100% confidence, that my coach totally changed my life. She saved my life. And my hope is that I can just simply pay that forward to men or women who just need that, because you just never know what someone's situation is. And you can never discount someone, because we all go through different seasons. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm now staying at home, working this business full time, but truly on my schedule. And it's just been an incredible journey to get here. Never what I thought my life would look like. So, to kind of break a couple myths, what we are not, as coaches, as influencers, whatever you want to call it, we simply just share something that we're already doing, something that we're truly like passionate about. I always tell someone, when you look at the network marketing world, my husband was actually very much a supporter of me trying to get into this network marketing thing. And he's like, you should do it. You should do it. That's going to be the future of the world. I mean, this is like pre-pandemic, all the things. But I was like, I just don't want to share something I'm not passionate about. Like, I couldn't get behind skincare. I mean, couldn't get behind makeup. Like, that's just not me. But health and fitness was always something that I loved. He's like, you should do this. And so really, that's what it is. We share. We aren't experts. We aren't salespeople. And we don't need to know everything. I think the hard part as a new coach is you want to know everything. But the reality is you kind of learn and you go, and you learn and you go. And we don't go to school for this. So you don't have to like come into this, opportunity with anything. Like, you literally come as you are, and it just evolves to something like truly incredible. But more than anything, you have this incredible community with you. And so, if you feel that you aren't at like your goal weight, or, you haven't like hit your, like where you want to be on your journey, that's even better. Because I always tell a new coach that nobody wants to be with someone who's at the end of their journey. They want to be with someone, they want to join someone on the journey. So as coaches, we have this beautiful opportunity to just continue to find people, invite people, tell our families, our friends, whoever, that, hey, like, I have a morning date or afternoon date with Autumn every day, and I would love for you to join me, because she's going to kill me, and then I'm going to feel so much better. And I think, like, if I could gift you those endorphins, you would truly like understand how much it can change like all aspects of your life. So I think it's just, I love this slide, because I think I always thought all of these things were true of network marketing or coaching or anything like that. And it's really not the case at all. So really as a team, we just want to help people like live their best life. Like I look on this call tonight and I think about how Amelia and Jen and LT and Ashley and Leah have had their lives changed because, I wasn't afraid to ask them to join because my coach wasn't afraid to ask me to join. And when you think about that, like I can't imagine where I would be if my coach hadn't followed up with me. And it wasn't to sell me something. It was to give me, I like to say, a gift that I didn't even realize I needed. And it provided me with these habits that, my kids have now adopted. Like they can't imagine mom and dad not working out. I mean, they sometimes actually drag us out to the garage. And it's just incredible to see how much your own journey can rub off and impact other people. And, the cool part about our team is like, and I think we have some newer coaches that are even on this call tonight. Like you join in and you think, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I won't have support, all these like fears. But it's like you get this virtual community like already right there, like from day one. And it's hard not to kind of see joy in that and just kind of see the positive and see the light in that because life is hard right now. And to know that I have like an outlet of women who are always going to inspire me, who if I say I'm not feeling it today, they're going to help me find it, is something that I think all of us can need. And really we just want to help people, not to sell people, not to try and make a commission, although we'll talk about the income opportunities because I think that's an important part of this, but to truly just have people find this journey, embrace it, get the confidence, and feel empowered every single day. So, that's kind of in a nutshell our team and our goals and what we are and my story. So now I want to turn it over to Jen, who's one of our coaches, and she's going to share a little bit about her story. Jen?
Hi. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I am Jennifer, and my story kind of starts back in like high school, which was forever ago for me. I was never into working out, hated getting sweaty. I would seriously write those notes to get out of PE. I hated to do anything physical, fitness, anything related. My sisters were the middle child, so my sisters were very athletic, loved working out. They were always so skinny. I was kind of like the fat child of the family. And they just seemed like they radiated confidence. Whatever they wanted to do, they would just go out and do it, or they found a way to do it. And I just kind of tappled around. I had zero confidence. I was very quiet. I still am, but in a different way. Like once I get to know you, I'm a little crazy. But anyway, so that's kind of like where it all started. I went through my life. I actually went into college, a local college, and then I left. I did a semester, and then I left into the corporate world because I said, this is not for me. I want to go out and see the world. And so I did the corporate thing for a little bit, and I was in a job, and I actually met my husband. I was in a banking job as a teller, and I met my future husband. He was my boyfriend at the time, and he was actually in college and going for a degree. And so that kind of like opened my mind up to the idea, and I always wanted to be a teacher. So I went back to college and I did the courses and graduated in teaching elementary education. And I went right into my first job. And during all of that, me and my husband, he was my boyfriend at the time, but now we got married and started kind of doing the whole, like, I had to find a job. So I found a job and I was teaching, and it was just moving right along. And then we decided to grow our family. So we went ahead and had our first child, Lance. He was a beautiful little boy, and we were super excited to have him, but I started those new mom anxiety. I started taking medication, and I just felt just all the anxiety of being a working mom, but also having to take care of my child and all of the other things that added on to that. And I started taking the medication, and knew at that time that I wanted to stay home, but I didn't know a way to do that. So we went on, better life, me teaching, and we wanted to grow our family again. So we went ahead and got pregnant with our daughter, Olivia. And this was in 2015. We had, very normal pregnancy. I was super, super sick, so I couldn't gain any weight. And at 20 weeks, we found out that she was a girl, and we were we were so excited. I was excited, but unfortunately, there were some things that my body did not want. Um, so I had an incompetent cervix at the time, and I did not know it. When we had Lance, we had complications. I had high blood pressure, and I ended up doing a C-section with Lance. And we did not know anything was wrong until we had Olivia. It got to 20 weeks, started gaining that weight. My body could not hold her. So we did an emergency vaginal cerclage, which is basically they stitch you together to hold it all in and hold the baby in. And I had the vaginal cerclage for, I had it about 3 days, and it did not hold. And I ended up going into labor. And at that point, I was only 20 weeks and 5 days. And I did not want to have her. I did not want to have her. She needed to stay in my belly longer. And so we knew the odds were against us. So we ended up coming home from the hospital, and I said, I'm going to keep the baby in as long as I can. My body wasn't having it. I ended up getting really super sick within 2 hours of leaving the hospital. And a week after we found out that she was a girl, we ended up losing her. She went to heaven, and we had to kind of figure out life without her. I spent the next week in the hospital trying to get better because I had sepsis and E. coli, and the doctors ended up saying that I only had 2 hours to live. 12 doctors actually all said to my husband to not only prepare for a burial for your daughter, but you need to also prepare one for your wife. So luckily I got better, and we ended up leaving the hospital, but then we had to kind of figure out life after that. I was a mess. I didn't know how to carry on, didn't know how to keep going. Wanted to know what happened, but I guess I couldn't move on right away. So we ended up finding out to be able to have more children, because we did, I had to have a special surgery. So I had a transabdominal cerclage. So they went in through my C-section, and they cleaned it, they went in and put bands around my cervix so that I could get pregnant and hold the baby through the whole entire term. So as soon as we got home from the surgery, we were able to try, and we ended up getting pregnant right away with Sawyer, our middle child. After Sawyer, that's when the eating of being home and not wanting to go back into teaching and being home with Sawyer and Lance full time was big. So I knew that there was something that I needed to do, life's ups and downs. So I left teaching and went into an insurance job, and I was an insurance specialist. I also tried several different MLMs, network marketing gigs. I did LA Fitness after Olivia, before Sawyer. And then there was also this baby boot camp that I did for a while that was not consistent at all. They only did it 3 days a week, and you had to wait for the time, and then you had to bring your kids, and it was just not, it was not finding, it wasn't something that I could keep consistent with. I had no help with nutrition. And yes, it was great to have the support with the other moms there working out with you, but there was nothing else that was supporting me. So I just kind of felt lost in my journey with having Sawyer, wanting to be home, home with Lance. I still had the anxiety going. So I was at the insurance job, and I ended up getting pregnant with Amelia. And she's our last one. And with Amelia, I knew that I needed to go back for something. So I went back part-time as a tutor, and things just never changed. I wanted to be home. I felt lost. I had no confidence. I was on anxiety medication, like all of these things that were piling up. And so that's when, after Amelia happened, it just kind of dawned on me, and I needed to be strong for her. I didn't want to just be a mom who was just kind of going through the motions. I wanted to radiate that confidence that my sisters had, because I never felt it. So that's when I kind of stumbled upon Kelsey. And once I found Kelsey, I decided to switch to her as a client. And then it took me a little bit of time before I said, okay. But I did probably within like 2 weeks, I think. And just because I was just watching her story and her journey, and I had 2 boys and she had 2 boys, and I felt more connected with her. And what coaching has definitely brought me is accountability, being consistent, the joy of life, having that support, all of these ladies on this call right now, our entire team, just having that support of, okay, I know that if I'm having a rough day, somebody else is going to be having a rough day too. Let me climb on that ladder, because I need to vent, or I need to do something, and these girls are going to have my back. It gave me confidence. I feel more fulfilled. I've been reading a lot of Trent Shelton. I don't know if you know him, but I've been reading a lot of him, and him with the purpose. And it just feels like not only did I find where I needed to be, I found passion with it, and just the feeling of helping others, and all of that in my mindset has definitely changed. And I think that's what coaching has definitely brought to me. So that's my story in a nutshell. And I'm going to hand it back to Kelsey.
Thank you so much. And if I have to say one thing about Jen, it's that, if you think you're busy, she has you beat. She is one busy mama, but she just simply takes this business and fits it in these micro pockets of time, which is really a cool way when you think about how you can run your business. It's just a way that works for you. All right, now I'm going to pass it over to Amelia.
Okay. So I'm Amelia. I live in Charlotte. I work full-time. I work as an account manager in digital advertising. I've been married to my husband for almost 3 years. We went to the same college, but we actually met about 2 years after I was out of school. He'd been out of school a lot longer. We were not there at the same time, but met at a mutual friend's wedding. So we've just been living together in Charlotte for the last few years, and no kids or pets or anything yet, but hopefully one day. About to buy it, or we just bought a house, so kind of excited for next steps and being outside of an apartment and all that good stuff. And my other fun fact is that I was a former ballet dancer, and that was kind of just my whole life up until high school, till I went to college. And that's kind of brings me into my health journey, I guess, is I did that my whole life. That really was something I loved to do. I did it pretty seriously up until midway through high school, and then it just like got to the point where if you're not going to do this for a living, it's just too much. So wanted to kind of enjoy the rest of high school and going into college, all that good stuff. But going to college, like a lot of people, I just kind of focused on meeting people and, obviously school and everything, but having fun as well, kind of being on your own the first time. And with that, freshman 15, freshman 20, whatever it is, definitely was an issue for me because I just had never had to really take care of myself. I was lucky enough I just always danced. I could eat whatever I wanted, do whatever I wanted, and I was in fine shape. I just never had an issue with that or had to think about it. So kind of going through college, I sort of realized that I still wasn't doing anything about it, but I didn't really care. It still wasn't a priority. I graduated, got a job pretty much right away where I was sitting at a desk all day. We had a restaurant downstairs and I would just kind of eat like a burger or a sandwich and then just be sitting at my desk all day. And I think, for anyone who's worked in an office job, you kind of the first, like, as you get used to doing that, you realize like you really are just sitting there. It's not healthy. Like you're not walking around. Like I just wasn't consciously doing those things. So long story short, I've, a few years go by and I kind of just realized I wasn't like super happy with not only like how I was looking, but how I was feeling. So I've kind of tried different things. I've always kind of gone to the why, but I'm just not someone who can walk into a gym environment by myself and like feel comfortable or know what to do. I don't know what to pick up, what machine to go to, unless it's like an elliptical and it's something pretty basic like that. So I tried to always go to classes and do all of that, but it was just never something I could stick with. And I did that for probably like 7 years or so since I was out of college, just trying to figure out what would work, and tried a few different things, tried ClassPass for more variety, which was fun. But again, there was just still nothing keeping me consistent. So last fall, I kind of started chatting with Kelsey a little bit, or she reached out to me. And finally going into the new year, I said, okay, I'm just going to try this because why not? This is something that I've been watching her do for a while and she seems so positive about it. And I just need to try these workouts, try this group and kind of see what happens. So I decided to just kind of dive into it. I'm turning 30 this year and I just was like, okay, I've spent my 20s sort of just kind of doing whatever and waiting for something to change, but I haven't really had something to really help me stick with it or help me to stay accountable. So I did jump in to Kelsey's group in January and immediately fell in love with it. I fell in love with the workouts. I fell in love with the accountability group and just everything that came with it. I love that there were nutrition options, and even like not following one of those super strictly, I was still learning and seeing all of these great tips and just kind of learning how to be better. And I was feeling better. The accountability though was really what helped me the most. So after that first month, Kelsey reached out, asked if I would be interested in coaching. I was kind of hesitant. So I sort of just said, sure, like, let me just sign up as the discount coach because I want to get the shakes at a discount. So let's just start there and maybe I'll see how it goes, how I feel about it. So she put me into like our group of coaches, and just after like a couple months of sort of teeter-tottering with it and saying, I'm a little worried what people are going to think. Like I'm not, as fit as I want to be or feel, but I'm still working towards it. I just kind of had all these like back and forth thoughts for a while on it. And finally just, I think a little bit with the quarantine stuff starting and just in general kind of watching it and being sort of half in for a couple months, I finally was like, I'm just going to do this and dive all in. And I do work full time. I'm not doing Beachbody full time. However, no one in our group is. Everyone is a mom or has a job or is doing several other things. And so seeing everyone else kind of make this work I slowly realized like I have no reason not to make this work. I have time for this. And with that, it just really has been so great, especially since I've kind of felt like I've put myself all in. It really is a great group to be a part of, and even just doing the workouts and doing all the things on my own was great with the accountability group, but having this group of other coaches that kind of motivates you and helps you learn things as you go is really helpful and has been really positive. While I do have I'm lucky enough to have great girlfriends that live where I live that I get to see all the time. It's been really nice to have this group through coaching of just really positive women who are all working towards different goals as well and making that work. So I have enjoyed being able to help invite others to this, and I am excited to keep doing it and see where this grows. So for me, really, it just started as an accountability thing, but has turned into just, me just kind of enjoying this and wanting to help other people do it, if that makes sense. So that's sort of my story, how I got started. I'm still sort of getting started, but again, you, like Kelsey said, you don't have to know everything. I kind of sat on the back burner for a bit because I was trying to learn everything. And I just realized that I'm never going to learn everything up front until I just start doing it. So start doing the coaching, doing and, inviting people to join you on the journey and just kind of inspiring them and kind of learn as you go has been really great. And I'm excited to keep doing it. So.
Yay. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the epitome of like what we want to share is just like we're normal people, we're super busy, but we all have a story to share and we all have a journey that we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out life. And this community, this accountability really helps. So maybe that all sounds great, but what does a coach actually do? So I love to kind of break it down because I was like under this impression because I'd had super bad experiences with network marketing individuals in the past that it was just cold inviting, like trying to sell something. And it wasn't anything more than that. But the reality is, if you could just take that maybe misconception or take the term network marketing out of this, we're really just, again, a business focused on you. I always tell a new coach, focus on yourself, everything else will fall into place. Jen just said that, Amelia just shared that. And so, we're sharing this positivity, even though we have bad days. It's okay. You don't always have to be positive. But you share your journey first and it inspires other people. You could have someone reach out to you tomorrow because they watched you last week share. You could have someone reach out to you in 2 years because they've been watching you for 2 years. There's no real time limit on when someone's ready to jump in. But when you're just consistently sharing something you're going to do every day because it brings you joy, because you love the community, and because, you're creating these like healthy habits too that aren't going out of style, it becomes something that's almost, it's just kind of part of you. And what really helps us, for all my list lovers out there, is we have when you get started, we have this incredible, like super simple checklist of things that you can do when you find time to work the business. I built my business. Oh, Jen's got it right there. So I built my business. I got one. But I built my business like traveling full time, mom of 2 kids, like having 0 time and just really focusing on the tasks that I knew would help me, start to bring in people that I thought could really use this, not necessarily to make a commission or to, get some recognition, but to really truly just share this because I am mad that I didn't join sooner, because this could have changed my life like 5-10 years ago. I've been doing Beachbody for 10 years. I did the DVD. So, we have this like super easy list. So you always know what you're doing. You don't have to have the same amount of time allotted each day. Some days I have more time than others. Some days I have 0 time. Sundays I take off. I just really make sure that I keep my priorities straight, but I sprinkle in a business of something that I'm super passionate about. And so it's really true that each coach's daily schedule is determined by them to fit their day. And then income. So this all sounds great, but how do we actually make money? So what is incredible about this business is you can make money two ways. So basically, when you're getting someone started, you would make commission from anyone who gets anything from you. If anyone signs up for your Energize or signs up for just workouts or does a whole pack, you're always going to get that commission. It starts at 25% and goes up to 35% depending on what they buy. So right out of the gate, let's say you sign up today and you have a sister, a friend, a boyfriend who wants to, go ahead and sign up with you because you guys are going to support numbers, do it together. You make your investment back like right away. So how cool is that? Just knowing that you don't have to do any sort of training, hit any certain level. It's kind of like why we say you learn as you grow, but you can also earn as you grow. And so the first way is just strictly through commission. The second way is where it gets super exciting, because as you start to build a team of coaches, and it doesn't matter if they're more discount coaches, meaning they just want a discount on the products, or they're coaches who are more like hobby coaches. Maybe they're just kind of working the business, but more simply just sharing to friends, family, things like that. Or maybe it's a coach who's like, you know what, I'm all in, I'm ready to do this. Like, I've got big goals. We all have different goals. We all have different dreams. Some of us want to retire from our jobs. Others of us just want to pay our grocery bill. But it can fall, this opportunity can be whatever you want it to be. You can grow it to whatever you want it to grow. And so when you start to build a team is where the exciting income opportunities come in, because that's going to be your residual income. So essentially, you always have that first opportunity to make money from commission. And then as your coaches start to help other people, and those people start to help other people, that's all going to roll back up to you. So you're making residual income. And what's pretty incredible about this is there is no cap on that. So as the more you grow your team, or the more your team grows and their people grow, the more your income grows and the more your success grows. And so as much as it is a individual business where you're picking and choosing how you're running it, it's actually a team effort as well. And so it makes this opportunity even more exciting because, coming from a corporate background, I could work really, really hard one week and not get an increase. I wasn't like sales commission paid, and not get like an increase in my salary. And then maybe the next week I slacked off and it didn't matter. I still got paid the same thing as long as I was flying under the radar. But you get my point. I mean, a lot of careers, a lot of jobs are strictly salary based or hourly wages. You're not going to see the coordination or correlation of an increase in income when you put in more work. Whereas in this opportunity, you get to choose how hard or how much time or how much you want to put into it, and your income can grow from that. And I think that's when I actually started looking at the actual business and plan of this and the income building opportunity, it is pretty, it's pretty enticing to see that. And I tell my husband sometimes, I'm like, okay, I'm going to hustle tonight because I want to pay for our groceries this week. And it's kind of fun to have those little mini goals to work hard towards, but more than anything, to see that those goals represent people and represent lives change. Yes, income, commission, money is awesome. It's what we survive on. But what's really cool are the stories behind that. And coming from a corporate background, I didn't get that luxury of helping people. And so this is what makes this a super fun opportunity to share something I love and to share it with people in a community that are just so freaking amazing and like awesome girls. And then last two slides, our personal success is, like I said, I kind of already covered this, is truly just built on what you want to put into it. If you simply just want this to be kind of a hobby, it doesn't need to be anything more, that's fine. Like, we'll meet you where you want to be. But if you want to pay for Disney World this year, pay for, your next vacation, or put your kid in a sport or whatever it is, it just simply comes from you deciding like what your vision is for this business and kind of going towards that, going all in. But the coolest part is it's not based on learning anything more or like getting to a certain level or training. It's simply just sharing your journey, being a product of the product is what we say, which is really just showcasing like what's available because I didn't know that like I didn't have to Pinterest my workouts and then Google my nutrition plan and then also go to the gym and leave my kids in a daycare and all the things. Like it's all rolled into one and we have the tools to give to someone. And then finally, I think we've said this like a ton, but you don't have to be ready. Like I actually encourage you not to be ready, to totally have fears, to be scared, and still join us because we'll help you work through those. And personal development is a big part of that. But if you were, I mean, most people aren't ready, but that's when growth happens, is when you're not ready and you're, putting yourself in kind of these uncomfortable situations, but allow for more growth. Okay. And then lastly, Jen's going to cover really quickly just some common fears and objections that, you might be thinking right now. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, so common fears and objections. No time. This is definitely one that I have when just waking up in the morning and I'm like, I feel, because sometimes my kids will wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So, and I feel like I'm just being bombarded. When you are passionate and you want to help or you want to just be for you, the accountability for you, you're going to wake up before the kids. You're going to wake up earlier than normal to get going before, you have to go to your job. And or you're going to work late. You're going to do the things that you have to do to make sure that you do those vitals that are on that to-do list. Pockets of time have been my holy grail. Just setting a timer, doing that task for time, for going as long as I can during that timer, and then going to the next thing. Just think about this. How long do you scroll social media at night? And if you are scrolling more than 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes of scrolling, whether you're on, Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media platform you're using, you could be earning money. That is something that was mind-boggling to me, that I know that I'm scrolling for 10 minutes and I could actually be making some money by just scrolling through it. And the beauty of this business is it comes with a task sheet that helps you focus right on into everything you need to do. Next one, I don't have any money. The best part is if you sign on with a challenge pack, you get the coaching fee paid for, and then that becomes a tax write-off. Then the monthly fee that you have to do each month is pretty much, my husband goes to the gym and he pays $10 a month. That $10 we could be using to pay for, anything, a business related opportunity. Think about the, $10, $11, $12 that you're paying each month to it being more accountability for your journey, or give you that consistency that you need. And then I also think about this as you have freedom. I went to the zoo today. I don't have any Sunday scaries at all. Like, I can freaking go to bed and know that I'm not dreading what's going to happen Monday when I wake up. So next one is, everybody does it already. I don't know enough people. Reaching out and being yourself is, people will come. Being you, people will come. And then somebody you may not even know yet, by just reaching out to your friend or, their friend of their friend, could be struggling that you don't know that they have something, that they need something that you have, that you can provide for them. And, you don't know unless you ask. You have to, sometimes people are hesitant to ask you. Maybe they're shy. They don't know how you feel about talking about what you do. And if you just bring it up and say, hey, look, I'm doing this and I would love for you to be with me. And they say no, or I'm already doing this, then great. Maybe it's working for them. Maybe right now that's what they need. But maybe sometime in the future, they're going to be, oh, so-and-so's, Jennifer's doing this or Kelsey's doing this and she's been doing it and consistent with it, but I haven't been, and I thought it worked for me. And now this season that I'm in, it's not working. And then last thing is I'm not good with sharing. I think it just comes with time. It comes with just trying to open it up and share your journey in several different ways. And the beauty of this business is it is yours. You share how you want to share it. If you want to share 4 things that you did that day, great. If you want to share one thing, that's wonderful. But you have the ability to decide what you want to share, what struggles you want to share. And you don't have to share everything. I don't share everything that's going on in my life. I give them little tastes, little bits and tastes of things that I'm doing. And it does get easier. The more you talk about your story, the more you write it down, the more you share it, it will get easier and easier to talk about it the more you do it. And that's it. I'm going to hand it back off to Kelsey.
No, and that's really it, guys. I know we have a lot of people who watch this recording and just really have curiosity. I think all of us who've ever shared on this call, and we do these monthly, and you're going to see a rotation of different girls as we continue to grow our team, is that we've all had those same questions. But the reality is, like, again, I think I said this before, health and fitness is something that we have to have because we want to live long and healthy lives. I mean, case in point, that's all you want. And why not do it with other people? Why not do it and spread more positivity and just really help people see their strength maybe in you? And I think sometimes as coaches, that's what we have the privilege of doing, is just loaning our own strength out to someone, to the mom on Instagram, or to the tired girl who just is scrolling because she needs to find her purpose. Because I was that girl. I think we can all attest to being that girl at some point. And it's a incredible job that we can call this a job. So anyway, hopefully that answers a lot of your questions. And if you have any questions that you think of or we didn't address, please let your coach know. And we look forward to hopefully seeing all of you guys on our team soon. So thanks again for joining. And I will talk to you guys all soon. Bye.